I think we can all agree that Ferrari's 2022 season was a disappointment, but with the appointment of Frederic Vasseur as their new team principal, things could be turning around. His first press conference for the team since taking over as team boss was honestly pretty shocking, and a huge change of tone from Binotto's time in charge of the team. Today, we're going to fill you in on all the highlights of the conference and what it means for Ferrari's 2023 title campaign, so don't go anywhere. The obvious place to start is with the new Ferrari boss's plans for the team. Frederic Vasseur says it is obvious that his target is to win the title this year. The 54-year-old, who began work in his role on the 9th of January, says he has already started analysis of the weaknesses that derailed Ferrari's 2022 campaign. When you're in a top team, you can't have another target than to win, said the Frenchman. You can't start the season saying you're happy with P2. It would be a lack of ambition. We have everything to do a good job and the target has to be to win. Okay, clearly Fred isn't planning on messing about. Now he has one of the biggest jobs in motorsport. Despite Ferrari's second place last season, Binotto is thought to have lost his job because he couldn't guide the team through the season to a championship title, drivers or constructors. Fred obviously isn't planning on having the same issues during his time in charge of Ferrari. Vasseur's comments, made in his first news conference since his move to Maranello, are a contrast with the position taken by his predecessor Matteo Binotto, who the team claimed resigned after the end of last season. Binotto made repeated references to the fact that Ferrari still had to improve to be in a position to win the championship. Lead driver Charles Leclerc won 2 of the first 3 races last year, after which he led eventual champion Max Verstappen of Red Bull by 46 points. But Leclerc took only one further victory as Ferrari were afflicted by engine reliability problems and strategy errors, as well as losing competitiveness as the season progressed. In Matteo's defense, the team apparently completely switched their focus to the 2023 car during the summer break. At that point, Max Verstappen had won 8 of the 13 races and been on the podium another 2 times. The only reason he hadn't made it on the other 3 races was due to a damaged car at Silverstone and 2 mechanical retirements in Bahrain and Australia. As much as everyone tried to make it sound like there was still a competition, there really wasn't. That decision might have lost Matteo his job, but it could be key to Vasseur's success. That isn't the only thing that Matteo has given Fred in preparation for his new job, though. Binotto spent 4 years at the helm of Ferrari, having already worked for the team for a decade and a half in key technical roles. His successor revealed Binotto gave him a detailed handover during a one-to-one discussion, something of a rarity for an outgoing F1 team boss, particularly one who's leaving the company altogether, and probably unheard of for one being pushed out. The process was crystal clear. Even if we had some rumours into the press before Abu Dhabi or during Abu Dhabi we didn't discuss before, Vasseur said of his initial talks with Ferrari. We had the first discussion the week after Abu Dhabi, and it was very quick as a process. And then I had a call with Matteo, and I even met Matteo during the handover and we had a one-to-one discussion. It was thanks to Matteo for this because I appreciated the move from Matteo to stay, to wait for me, to discuss together, was really appreciated from my side. We can't help but feel a little sorry for Matteo. He wouldn't have done this for Fred unless he really loved the Ferrari team. He obviously wants to see them succeed, and if they do in 2023, he will have been a part of that, but it's sad he won't have his name attached to it. Binotto is not the only ex-Ferrari boss Vasseur has been in contact with since being appointed by Ferrari, as he's spoken to Jean Todt, who was instrumental in the rebuilding of a failing Ferrari team in the mid-1990s and subsequent domination of the first half of the 2000s. I think that you can't compare what's happened 20 years ago or a bit more, said Vasseur when asked if he would take inspiration from Todd's achievements. Today, F1 is changing. It's a continuous change in F1, in the structure, in the size of the team, in the regulations with the cost cap. I had some discussions with Jean because he stays close to the F1 world. We chatted by WhatsApp a couple of weeks ago, and I will meet him soon. All the advice is welcome for sure, but I think it's quite difficult today to compare the situation of 1994-95 and 2022. Jean Todt is still very close to the Ferrari team, and he may have something useful to offer Fred, but this sounds more like smart politicking from Vasseur than actual appreciation of Todd's help. He can't piss off the Ferrari hierarchy, and has to play their games, including listening to the stories the old boys like to share about their day. Ferrari is an old boys club underneath everything else, and Fred is doing a good job of meshing with that. Part of playing that game is being able to run things how you want without pissing off a member of the Italian sporting mafia, who seem to control everything that happens in Italian sport. Honestly, the number of connections between F1, MotoGP and football especially Juventus, is shocking. Fred has been taking a pretty hard line on who's in charge of the actual running of the team despite this. Asked as to his level of autonomy and whether he would run Ferrari as he saw fit, speaking in his first interview, Vasseur said, "On this point, the situation is quite clear. Gestione Sportiva, the team, is part of the bigger organization of Ferrari. I have a CEO, and it's Benedetto Vigna, and I have a chairman, Elkann, for the company, and the situation is crystal clear. But even at Sauber, I had to report to the chairman of the group. You have always a boss. It's not a new situation for me. Now I'm running the team, I have the delegation to do it, and I will run it as I want. We have enough discussions with Benedetto and John on a daily basis to discuss the key points. This is crystal clear, and it's working perfectly. Ferrari has often been criticized in the past for its complex structure, given its sporting, technical, commercial, and political background, which has led to a lack of communication, in turn affecting its performance on track. Vasseur has confirmed he's working hand in glove with Vigna to ensure a smooth operation compared to the past. At the end of the day, what I've found is that I have a very direct relationship with Benedetto, added Vasseur. We have dinner 2 or 3 times a week, and then we're on the phone every single day. The organization of the team, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether it's communication or commercial, reporting to the group or to me. If we have sole, direct collaboration, it will work. It's going to take some work before the media are convinced that Fred is actually running things how he wants at the team. Mattia was a product of the Ferrari institution, and that obviously caused problems for him. He had to suck up to the Ferrari chiefs on his way through the organization, and that's a hard habit to break. When you've worked for people for so long, it's hard to change their opinion of you when you get promoted. This isn't something Fred's going to have to deal with though, which gives him an advantage from day one. Something that was a problem for Mattia that will be a problem for Fred is the driver situation at Ferrari. Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz are 2 excellent drivers, and in their 2 seasons together, they've been very closely matched. In 2021, Sainz had a 5.5-point advantage by the end of the season, despite being brand new to the car. But in 2022, Leclerc suited the F1 75 more than the Spaniard, beating Carlos by 59 points. It was Leclerc who was in the title battle, meaning he took all the headlines. Leclerc's frustrations with Ferrari's failings grew through the season. Vasseur, who has a close relationship with Leclerc after success together in the junior categories, said it was too early to discuss the 25-year-old's future. I don't want to put this topic on the table today, Vasseur said. It would not be a good way to start the collaboration. We have to be focused on the sporting side to get the results. It's like a wedding. If both sides of the table are happy with the situation, we will continue. But it's not the priority today. We have a good relationship. We'll have time to discuss about this. He said Leclerc and Sainz would go into the season with equal status, but that he would not hesitate to prioritize one if the circumstances demanded it. We have 2 very good drivers who are both able to do the job. We'll have the capacity to provide them exactly the same car and structure and support, Vasseur said. The target is to win for Ferrari. There will be no number 1 or 2, but if at one stage I have to take action, I will take action. It doesn't matter if it's one or the other. If at one stage of the season I have to do something, I will do it. Leclerc was always the golden boy under Binotto, but a change of management sounds like it will give Sainz a chance to fight on a level field again. If Ferrari do get themselves into a position to fight for a world championship, like Fred thinks they can, then it will be interesting to see when the team orders start coming in. How much of a point lead will either driver need before Fred decides it's time to favour one over the other? Ferrari fans will be hoping that whenever it does happen, both drivers can swallow their pride and fight for the team, not for themselves. Do Vasseur's comments give you confidence for the upcoming season? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below, and on your way down, don't forget to subscribe in preparation for the 2023 season. Until next time, drive safe and bye for now.